State. For registration and inquiries, visit www.theforumnigeria.com or call 0704 213 2217. This event is organized by the Men's League of Christ Church, Port Harcourt. The Forum for a Better Nigeria.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic. The taste of G.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
Oh yeah, I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah, I want to know.
Good morning to you. 4 minutes gone into the hour of 8. It's time for us to start the newspaper review. Is it too early to ask which way Nigeria? I guess not. I am Canada and I like to think of myself as the man of the people, and it promises to be an interesting session today. Remember, the brand is Today95.1 FM, the voice of the people, your premium talk radio station. There's something I really wanted to rant about before I started the show, but I can't even remember what it was. Oh my. Oh, now I do. Everybody's reacting to the Twitter ban by the federal government. I mean, there is SERAP, there is the PDP caucus in the House of Representatives. There is, almost everybody reacting. But it seems like we all have forgotten that there were children who were abducted, and I mean the Greenfield students, and the principal was caught on national TV crying, the parents crying. I hear 2 of the parents died out of heart attack. And what's it called? The reaction is not the same as the reaction I can see from. I'm not saying the Twitter ban is not necessary a conversation. I'm not saying it's not as important, but when you compare it to lives of human beings, you want to have a rethink. But what do I know? Welcome to Newspaper Review. Once again, I'm Kalada, and joining me shortly, I'll be telling you the people joining me who will be on the panel of analysts as we talk for development. I will be introducing them shortly, but let's quickly go through some of the headlines. First on my radar. Herders face fines as Bayelsa seizes 34 cows during grazing. Herders face fines as Bayelsa seized 34 cows during grazing. Now, the Bayelsa State Livestock Management Committee has impounded 34 cows for allegedly flouting the law banning open grazing of cows in the state. The chairman of the committee and commissioner for agriculture, Mr. David Alagwa, said the cows were seized on Monday around the Bayelsa Palm area of Yenagoa, the state capital. Governor Doyediri signed into law the Livestock Breeding and Marketing Regulation Bill 2021 in March after the passage by the House of Assembly. Diri had stated, among others, that by assenting to the law, any person found engaging in open grazing of livestock on foods commit an offense and would be arrested and prosecuted with the livestock impounded. Alagwa said the herders chose a convenient period of the night to engage in grazing of their cows. The commissioner said there's also movement by trekking around the Bayelsa Palm to the Swali slaughter that tends to happen at about 1 a.m. in the morning. 1 a.m. in the morning. And why I chose to talk about this is, we've seen how Nigerians usually react to things like this on a tribal and ethnic standpoint. We've also seen and we've said, will the governments of the South be bold enough to enforce the laws on the ban on open, or the laws of the ban on open grazing? We talked about it. We talked about it exhaustively. But then again, there's an angle to it. Some people have said, the herders don't really know what they are doing. Hey, they are just carrying cows to go and eat grass, and sometimes they don't know. But do they really not know? Do they really not know? Because if you look at these incidents, they know that there is a law stopping them from moving with cows. So they decide to move with cows deep in the night when everybody is asleep. I do not know. I'm going to, try to see what Emmanuel Ndukwe will say about this very one, as we start the newspaper review this morning. Emmanuel, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kalada. Good morning, Nigeria.
All right, so what's your reaction to, this very issue? Now we've seen first government in the South seizing cows. The cows were being moved in the deep of the night, in the wee hours, of the day. And one would wonder, do they really know what they do? Do they really know what they are doing? What's your take?
Well, anybody that says they don't know what they are doing, I won't indeed agree with the person, because you are telling that they are daft, and they are not.
All right.
That is why they know that there is a law against open grazing, and they decide to come out at the time that a lot of eyes won't be on the street or on the road or in the bushes or in the field, because they are sane. They are not insane.
All right.
But if anybody is saying they don't know what they are doing, I hope the person inadvertently won't be saying they are insane. And even if you say they are, I know they are not. For me, I think it's a good thing, especially as dairy has maybe organized a confiscation of those cows. You see, anybody that goes against the law should be punished.
But don't you think it will cause an uproar? You know how we react to, we react based on ethnic lines, tribal lines, religious lines. Say, you guys don't want us to do business in the South.
You see, Kalada, despite those who criticize Emmanuel Ndukwe, I do not see ethnicity as something that should be a barrier to anything that is supposed to be done. For instance, if you see me argue in favor of my ethnic group, know that yes, I have to argue in favor of them because of my reasoning. But see, even if my father goes against the law, he should be punished. If he understands that this was the law, and at that time he did not retrace his steps, you tell me, whatever it may come along ethnic lines. For instance, Bayelsa has a law against that, and somebody breached the law. They have to indeed do what, maybe from confiscation, and if the person didn't do well, government will know what to do with the cows and all that. Because there will always be penalty attached to disobedience.
All right.
So whether it will bring crisis or not, the crisis in the end, it won't last forever. It will end someday. And people will be told that you were wrong here, you were right there.
All right, we have Chief Dr. Callistus Nwachukwu, Public Affairs Analyst and CEO, Chi California International. Good morning to you. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Kalada. Good morning, listeners.
What's your reaction to this report that we just reeled out on the show?
Well, I would say they want to test the waters. Yes.
I didn't see it from that angle. I didn't see it from that angle.
That's my own
That's
angle.
part of it.
Yeah.
That's my own angle.
Yeah.
Because these people are seriously backed by the federal government through their body movement.
Can you
Their
say,
body
can,
language.
Can you say seriously
Yes.
backed or
Yes. If somebody like the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General will just come up and condemn the Southern governors that the ban on open grazing is illegal. So what do you expect the cattle rearer, the headers to do? Since number one law officer has declared the decision of the Southern governors illegal.
all right?
So they are capitalizing on that notion that they will not, underline it, obey that open grazing law. Since they have serious backing. Forget about what the northern elders, what their elites there are saying. But for the number one law officer to say that something is illegal, I'm telling you that they want to test the will of the Bayelsa government. And I will commend them
All right,
for taking the bull by the horn,
all right.
by making sure that that law is not only implemented, but is seen to be implemented.
Okay, all right.
I encourage their willpower.
All right then.
So
Let's move on now to another headline on the Punch newspaper. UNFPA sets Nigeria's population at 211 million, life expectancy at 54. Now, I'm going to quickly read. It says the United Nations Population Fund has set Nigeria's population at 211 million, while the life expectancy for men and women are retained or was retained at 54 and 56 respectively. This is contained in the UNFPA's latest State of the World Population 2021 report, which was launched by the country representative of the UNFPA, Ms. Ula Mueller, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, and the Chairman of the National Population Commission, Nasser Kwara, in Abuja on Tuesday. Our correspondent, that's the Punch talking now, who went through the 153-page report, noted that Nigeria's population was put at 211 million, closely behind Brazil, which has a population of 214 million. The new figure is higher than the figure of the NPC, that is the National Population Commission, which was 206 million as of December 2020. I mean, we cry that, okay, it's not just, prices are growing as well, but we always cry that every other thing is diminishing in Nigeria. But it seems like population is growing at a very fast speed. And yet production to, when I say production, I'm talking about economic production to be able to feed the mouths of these people that now are 211 million in society is little or not even there. It's very minimal or not even there. And I'm wondering, is this not going to cause more disaster in future? Because when you look at society now, we have insecurity, and we can even dare say the insecurity is as a result of things like unemployment, poor governance, and all the likes. Having 211 million now, and it's still growing, and I know it's an estimation, is this not problem in the making for the future generations to come? Should something be done about nipping the population or something like that?
In Nigeria?
Yes, in Nigeria.
It's all right.
I mean, we copy everything. Maybe we could copy the former.
We refuse to copy this one. Yes, so this particular one refuse to copy it because remember, every time you take this kind of issues and say, no, let there be not this issue of marrying young age children who are very vibrant, who could also be going ahead and then giving you children always as you want.
All right.
Senators will flag it down because they will tell you, no. In fact, you understand that some aspects, some part of this world, this country, is against their religious laws. And so they will not listen to anybody. However, even here, that we may say on religious grounds, nobody is forbidding such. people also are maybe pullulating like rabbits. It's the truth. But one thing is that, first of all, I do not know how, whether you call them UN what? UNFPA. Good. How they came about that population. Because we didn't hear any alarm sounded that the UN was conducting a population census.
It's an estimation.
No, and that is what I'm saying. When you estimate that Emmanuel Ndukwe has 20 children, in actuality, Emmanuel Ndukwe doesn't have. You made your estimates now, is it not? But, and the people who don't know about me much will be going with the estimate. So, you also see that the MPC here don't even know how many we are.
They say 206 million.
Thank you very much.
It's also an estimate and it's close.
Thank you very much. That's just what I want to hear. MPC in Nigerian soil is also estimating. So what is federal government doing if they truly want to know the number of persons in their country?
There is a census.
We keep on estimating.
There is a census.
We keep on estimating.
There is a census coming up next year, sometime next year.
What?
I think middle of next year, 2022. So yeah.
You see the problem it will spark, because after counting it, people won't believe that, well, it is this way, it is that way. We always keep on estimating.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
But then again, look at the life expectancy.
But I truly know that people are growing, the number of persons in the country. And like you were asking, whether it was not going to bring a problem.
Yeah.
Certainly it's going to bring a problem. Kalada, look at it. If I have 20 children at home, for instance, I had 15 children, then I buy bread every day. That is being on the big side in the morning. I buy bread 15 loaves.
Yeah.
And then I have them 20 now. Then we are buying 15 because there's no money to make that additional 5. Is that not a problem? And then when it goes around, that kind of population explosion, and then scarcity of the things to buy, don't you think it is the greatest problem? It brings insecurity and all the rest of it.
All right.
A life expectancy.
Yeah.
When things are not well, that you, that's why what I'm saying, a family can't manage what they have. Then how do you think the father, especially the parents, will be alive? I tell you, you talk about high blood pressure.
Yeah.
It must set in, because these are your children, natural gifts from God, but you can't take care of them.
All right.
And you turn around, you hear that, oh, that your first son went and then broke one place, and as they are dragging you on the right hand, they say your child has dressed up, is on the streets, she's going for prostitution and all the rest of them, heart attack.
But even apart from these, there's insecurity in the land, also making it difficult for people to live beyond the age of 54 and 56.
The 54 even, well, I think Nigerians are trying. With all these encumbrances, they are 54, 56. You know, usually women, there's a way I look at women. They live longer.
All right.
Because, for instance, if a man is 80 or 100, and then you leave a woman also that is 100, you say, two of you live on your own. I'm not saying it's a law, because sometimes there could be an exception. Now, you see that usually in all the studies, women will live longer.
All right.
Because naturally they've made themselves to know about doing this and that at home. Men that are Lord, that they make themselves Lord, if you don't come and do this and that, the person goes simple.
All right. Let's hear from Dr. Callistus. 211 million estimated people in Nigeria, scarce resources. I mean, just a few months ago, the governors were deliberating on whether to remove subsidy or not because they don't have enough money as revenue or as allocation every month. And yet the population keeps increasing astronomically. Is this a problem? And of course, to touch the life expectancy where, you're expected to live 54 and it is believed you have lived well in Nigeria, of course.
Well, Kalada, the 211 million estimation is neither here or there.
Okay.
Because estimate, you cannot rely on estimate. But from pedestrian angle, you will see that Nigeria is even more than 211. Considering the way the situation of things are in Nigeria.
All right.
People are jobless. People are disillusioned. Misgovernance. Hardship written all over the billboards in Nigeria. Not even on our faces. So you see a situation where a man wakes up in the morning, has nowhere to go. And the wife, the same thing. At times, the wife wait the evening, maybe to go and roast corn by the roadside. Within that period, something will happen. That's why you see poor people, they produce more children than the rich people. The rich man will be thinking about his business. 1 hour is enough for him to make millions. You won't see him. Hardly at night he sleeps. He has the television, he has his Android phone, and every other gadgets. Before you know it, he will go to bed around 3 a.m. Before you know it, 5, he's awake. But the poor man, the wife is the television. He lives in one-room apartment. Immediately you open the door, the bed is there. He would only ask the children, go outside and play with your fellow children. And the rest is story. So why wouldn't we have, population explosion in the country? And the life expectancy, when a man is, providing virtually everything. Not that the women don't provide, but when you check the statistics, the load is on the man. I've forgotten this man's name that says women live longer than men because they don't have a wife. Yes, they don't have a wife. Because if you have a wife, you have an added problem to other problems. Because your wife will be even pressurizing you to do one thing or the other. And it shortens your lifespan. Take the census. If you go around in a community, make that research, you will see the widows outnumbers the widowers. You understand me? The number of widows. And more especially, the society takes care of the widows. I have not seen, even in churches, they say let widowers come out. So that they will be giving one thing or the other for them to at least live long. They are only after the widows. So when you talk of their estimation of life expectancy by 54, 56, I say if you live up to that, it's by the grace of God. Because we, in this part of the continent, I think I would say that God created us with a factory-fitted shock absorber that will absorb a lot of pressures. If not, life expectancy for a man would have been would have been reduced to 40 or even 45.
Why do you say so? Why should it have been 40 or 45?
Yes. When you check the workload and the trend of things in the country, as you see present, it's only a blind man that will tell you that he's not seeing what is going on, but he is feeling what is going on in the country. You will see workers are being laid off, factories are closed down here and there, and nobody is shouting, nobody is threatening to go to ECOWAS court, nobody is threatening to do one thing or the other, because the elites are not affected. Because whenever you touch any law or any policy that affects the elites, you see hue and cries all over the place. But since poverty does not concern a lot of them, that's why they have not risen up. They have not staged a walkout in the parliament, because they don't care even if we die. They don't value life in this part of country we come from.
Let's post it there. Let's look at another headline. This one says 200 fresh Nigerian doctors in UK swell list to 8,384 200 fresh Nigerian doctors in the UK swell list to 8,384. It brings to the fore the conversation that a lot of our young professionals are leaving the country in droves. Every day more people are leaving. These countries like the UK, like Canada, are taking the professionals because they are in need of these professionals. Meanwhile, according to this report, we are lacking doctors in Nigeria. According to the report on the Punch newspaper, we have, where is it now? Give me a minute to look for it. We have only 74,543 doctors in Nigeria. 74,543 doctors in Nigeria. And of course, this is according to the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. And that means when compared to the over 200 million population that we have, we just talked about the population, it means that the ratio is 1.3 doctors to 500 persons. 1.3 doctors to 500 persons. Yet, we see our doctors leave the country in droves. Not just doctors, other professions leave the country in droves to other nations, get employed, and, they do very well in those countries. What's your reaction to this, Emmanuel?
Well, Canada, are you blaming them? I mean, those that are going.
No. If I have the chance, I'll also...
it's all right. It's just all right. So, you see, for me, when a man has gone to school, suffered all the rigors through schooling and all that, and came out, is supposed to leave, at least, as far as you are comparing America, UK, and all that with Nigeria. Right. Yes, that comparison does not exist. But at least, let government recognize the service of these people and try to go halfway in doing something for them. But it seems our government, mark my word, I said it seems our government doesn't recognize their importance. You remember, was it these resident doctors or whoever? Not long ago, they called off their strike. All right. But they are warming up. I think it's the same people that are warming up to go back. See, the problem is that when you see soldiers, they are very important. You see doctors, they are very important. Because when you are going to defend the territorial integrities and you came back and people are sick, the people that will die of ailments now outweigh those that have died because of invasion. Don't you see that the professionals that could work on both sides are very important? But you always promise to this, we are going to pay you this and that. In fact, I hid myself when I heard 5,000 naira hazard allowance.
I think they proposed an increase.
I know now. Yeah. They maybe because of the hue and cry, they are proposing the increase. That is if they will pay. That is the problem. Just like ASU and federal government and all that. What is going on with the money made in this country? Then you are saying these people should not go. For me, if you are not accepted by your own people, then others accept you. You will live as a human. Your dignity will be accorded the right pedestal. Then go abroad. And that is what they are doing. They will increase. Because these people that are warming up to go on strike will eventually one day and say, what about those our colleagues that have gone? All right. Until they will cross. Even if you say no, doctors, nobody will go. You remember there are special routes, Benin Republic and all that. They will still go.
What's your take, Dr. Callistus?
Well, there is nothing wrong in one seeking for greener pasture.
No.
Not only doctors, you have our footballers here. When they're playing in our local professional leagues, they are not valued. Some of them, if they tell you what they pass through, you will pity them. All right. Some will play all through the year without receiving salary. Even their sign-on fees are not paid. All right. Then when you see a 7th division club somewhere outside the shores of Nigeria offering them some mouth-watering offers, they will go. So it is human that you go wherever your value, your potentials are valued. You don't go where they will devalue you or demarket you.
But then again, we just talked about 211 million people with scarce resources to share amongst themselves. And if that is the case, we need production to get to a very high level. And then we need these professionals to help us get production to a high level. We can't let them, leave in droves.
Yes. You see, in this country, we have what we call misplaced priorities.
All right.
Where we're supposed to place priorities, they don't place them. They see them as non-existent.
All right.
They see the people working there as subhuman beings.
All right.
Where you see people that will come today, they are sworn in as members of the parliament. In a year, you can count the number of times they attend the plenary. So they don't go, but they get their allowances at times in advance. Then you see somebody, a lecturer in the university, professors doing research, and other people working day and night to impart knowledge. And you see them going home with peanuts. Even the peanut is not even paid as and when due. So why wouldn't you go abroad?
All right.
You see lecturers abroad that are highly paid and highly respected.
But then if everybody leaves, what happens to Nigeria?
If you create the environment, even some Nigerians are praying for the opportunity for them to live in droves, to seek for greener pastures. And as they are living, they are swelling up our foreign reserve. Oh yes, because the money they are being paid, they are using the money they repatriate from home and use it for developmental.
Well, then again, if everybody leaves, who will now be home to receive?
We now leave the so-called the government, the people that are now feeling that they everything that is good is meant for them. Then any other person can go to hell.
All right. Let's hear from Dr. Obidima JP, journalist, international affairs analyst, who's joining us right about now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Colin.
Doctors reference the reference point for this conversation. They are leaving in droves to countries like the UK, and the question comes to the fore: why are we letting our professionals leave when we have scarcity of resources and we need to increase production in the country?
Doctors, remember that you join them.
He might join them, right?
Yes,
Is it medical doctors?
It's medical
doctors.
You are not doctor can decide to join.
All right then.
Canada, I say, time there was in this country when it was not even that fashionable to study abroad.
All right.
Then there was that even if you have scholarship to go and study abroad, as soon as you graduate, you are raising back home. Nigeria was a delight, even to outsiders. Unfortunately, things took nosedives in the process of time. Like what my brother said there earlier. There was a time our football league in this country was, attracting even people from other African countries. But because we did not place value to that very sector, it collapsed. And the trend is there now in the medical profession. If it is not arrested, our health system will collapse. It's like a virus that is gradually until it destroys its victim. Just that you are just mentioning UK only. I think so.
That's where the report cited.
Yes, UK. We are not talking of other African countries.
Canada.
We are not talking of US, Canada. We are not talking of either some of these Eastern blocks. We are not talking of UK. I remember year before last. My son-in-law is a medical doctor. My daughter, after my second daughter, after delivery, and the person who attended to her, the doctor that attended to her, happened to, three of them happened to have graduated from the same university, Ibunejo University. So when they looked at themselves, my son-in-law said, "It's like I know you." Yeah, yes, you know. He said, "Oh yes." He said, she said, "I'll soon leave for UK." I'm not leaving. you know. So the thing, it kind of shocked me. And why is it shocking me is because today, even the ones who had that are remaining, the political class, the leadership, don't even know their worth because they jet out of this country for their medical checkups. Their families are also not here.
All right.
You know, and the ones that are here, can you imagine when you are talking of scarce resources? Where is the scarce resources? The resources are there to manage these things. In fact, one of the problem that has plagued this country is this issue of called security vote. Both governors, chairman of local government, and I wonder why that security vote and the police is at their back. And police, you know, one thing is that they also provide money at federal government level. Budget is provided for police, provided for military, and they are competing today building universities instead of deploying their resources to security issue. Army is building university, Air Force is building university, Navy is building university,
your point
police is building university.
Your point being,
so now the money that is meant to pay and enhance the pay packet of the professional that look after human life, governor is taking about 6 billion security vote. Local government chairman is taking about 20-something million security vote every month. And what is that security vote meant for? Governor will donate 20 healers vehicle to police in the name of security vote and all those things. Yet, this kind of professionals will not be taken care of. Right. In other words, the security of human, the life of humans are not attended to.
All right.
Now, if this thing is not staying, it's not building hospitals. You know, the building may be large, the building may be quite magnificent, but if the faculty is not there, it's like building maybe university that is as big as Nigeria, and it don't have the faculty.
All right then.
You know, it amounts to nothing.
Okay, let's move on now to another headline on the Punch newspaper. After that, we will look at other issues from other newspapers. This one says, rumored rift between Akpabio Silva over NDDC board malicious, and is coming from an aide of Timipre Silva. And he's saying that there is no rift between the both of them as reported in certain media platforms, and that the two of them are working hands in glove to ensure that the NDDC works for the betterment of the Niger Delta region. And I never really thought about it that maybe it's as a result of two elephants fighting, or how do I put it, self-interest from the political actors in the region that could have made it impossible for the NDDC's substantive board to be inaugurated. Now, we kept hearing it's because of the forensic audit, and we've been asking how long will the forensic audit take place. But now this aid has come out to give us, you know, I want to put it like that, give us a hint that there's a possibility that, because, you know, when they say they are not fighting, it meant they were, that's how I understand it, by the way, it meant they were fighting and they have reconciled, or they are in the process of reconciliation. But let's take your thought now, Mr. Emmanuel.
Well, I think for me, Silver's aid has come out to say there is no rift. I will want to end there. If there will be reason for me to think otherwise again, I will join and think otherwise. But like you are saying, we have a parable that there's no smoke without fire.
Of course.
If there is anything at all somebody mentions about people of that level quarreling, well, their aides are expected to come and launder their image. So whatever be the case, but whatever quarrels they may be having cannot be about NDDC. The way I look at it, because what has indeed maybe dragged this board all along has been on forensic audit.
Yeah.
And the audit will be as long as forensic can last.
But what if the forensic audit is as a result of these what do you call it now? This battle, this subtle battle that we are getting to hear of now?
Well, like I said, I want to end where they ended themselves.
All right.
The head of Silver is saying there is nothing wrong. If I'm thinking for myself that something may have been wrong. You see, whatever may be quarrel they are having, I think if Akpabio, for instance, should set up the board today, and that quarrel will die. But remember, Akpabio can't do that. You see, I have always said.
But he has promised actually.
No, he has promised. That is if Buhari accepts.
Okay.
You see, a minister is as effective and as efficient as his principal makes him.
All right.
If, for instance, on the day Akpabio has said, even if President Buhari has accepted that day, reaching, he said, Akpabio, come see that thing, we are pushing it forward. Akpabio will stand like people will say, frozen. There's nothing he can do.
But we know the president is the kind of president that delegates power. He allows his ministers free hand to do. I mean, we know that already.
Good, until the day Akpabio promised. And then he sets up the board that day.
All right.
You will see that he has delegated.
All right. Let's hear from Dr. Callistus. What's your take?
Well, it's clash of interests.
Okay.
And it's in every human.
All right.
Every person wants to protect his interests. There are pressures here and there. If you're an ally of Timi Priest River, you'll be going to him on a daily basis. Please, sir, ensure that I'm among the board members. Akpabio, the same thing. Amechi, other ministers
in the region.
Apart from the region, they have interests.
All right.
And when these interests conflicts, you now have, infighting.
All right.
Infighting. But they will not come out and tell you that we are fighting or we are quarreling. No. As Iman Dukwe has earlier said, there's no smoke without fire. But one thing that baffles me up to this morning, is that can't we get things right?
All right.
What is wrong with us? Who did this?
We did
to Nigerians.
We did it to ourselves.
That we cannot do a simple thing right.
All right.
No matter whose us is God. Using merit as a yardstick. And this question of recycling of people is what is causing all these problems. How can a man, after serving as a commissioner, from commissioner to governor, from governor to senator, from senator to minister, check it all over the country. At times, when your name has become a recurring decimal, they may ask you to change name.
All right.
You swap your name so that Nigerians will not complain. From Gambo Mohammed to Gambo Jimita. It's the same person. Because Gambo Mohammed was an inspector general. When he wanted to become minister for agriculture, they said Nigerians will complain. You know now, you just swap it from Gambo Mohammed to Gambo Jimita. If you are not conversant with those two names, you wouldn't know that it's the same person.
All right.
From Kano Idika Kano to Kano Idika. You think that it's a different person. It's the same man.
All right.
You see? So we should rise up in this country and do little things like NDDC board, right? Who spoke you that thing lies to constitute the board and passes to the president for final ratification?
All right.
So that is how things are done.
Let's hear from Dr. Obidima.
I think I don't need to even look the way of Akpabio or Silva or whoever or the political gladiators in the Niger Delta. No. The problem of NDDC presently is Buhari. I don't think he wants NDDC to survive or to undertake.
Why would you say so?
Because it is not within the powers of these people to constitute the board of NDDC.
But like I said earlier, the president is the kind of president that delegates power to his subordinates.
No. You see, there is nothing like delegating power here to constitute the board of a federal pastoral agency. What of Northeast Development Commission?
All right.
Why are they not having the kind issue we are having here? Why is it that there's peace? We're not even hearing about them.
All right.
You know? Why will President Buhari allow Akpabio and all the political gladiators in Niger Delta to begin to just who will be in the board and who will not be in the board? Have President Buhari not constituted the board of NDDC before now? Before one time he jetted to London, what happened to that list? You know? So the man doesn't want NDDC, he doesn't want Niger Delta people to benefit.
So you're blaming the president?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not these people.
Okay.
These people are his appointees.
Okay.
That he can even hire and fire at will. So the point there is that I blame this thing squarely on the president, and that is why this issue of we are clamoring about restructuring and all those things being self-determined in certain area of this thing, something like NDC will not come up.
All right.
Distracting us every time. That's a cesspool of corruption.
Let's move on now, yeah?
Yeah, but I think the president can delegate.
Delegate to
not actually the
There's no
appointment.
power in the act of NDDC.
Relax. I have said something.
Say so.
What you should ask is how.
Okay.
I think that's the same way to go about
All right,
this.
tell us how.
Listen, Akpabio is the minister of Niger Delta.
Yeah.
Silva is the minister of State for Petroleum.
Yeah.
Let's say from beginning it has been Akpabio that has been handling all this, and the NDDC also falls under his ministry. Silva is just a stakeholder in the Niger Delta. Now, if, for instance, President Buhari calls Akpabio and sit him down and say, let's draw up the names of people. Remember, they get feedback from a lot of people and all that. Now the names come. Say, Akpabio, go and compile this and make sure you bring them so time once you are done to me.
All right.
He has made a delegation.
True. All right, let's move on now. You've made your point. Let's move on. We have the caption on the Nation newspaper: 1 million to receive 5,000 stipends for 6 months. Yet again from the Ministry of Humanitarian. What's that ministry again? Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. 5,000 naira for 1 million people in the country. We are crying we don't have enough money. Governors are saying they want to increase fuel price. But yeah, this is a COVID-19 palliative for Nigerians. Yet again, I hear this is batch C. And 1 million Nigerians will get 5,000 naira. I tried calculating it early in the morning. That's about 5 billion naira thereabout. Correct me if I'm wrong. Emmanuel, what's your take?
Is there anything wrong if somebody says, I want to give you money?
The same government is crying they don't have enough money.
Now listen, maybe they have money for all those small ones. You remember when they promised 20,000 for 774
7,000
jobs.
774,000, yeah.
Calad up to today, I've not heard that this person has been paid for it.
No.
the work is going on.
No. I heard Festus Keyamo say that some people have been paid. The ones who haven't been paid is because the banks have not ratified their BVNs and all of that.
See, I heard also Festus Keyamo said that. But I am saying practically, except they are saying in Abuja.
Okay.
I'm saying all the people that are there, I know, are vast, and then I have not heard that we've been paid finally. I have not heard that.
Okay.
But, my not hearing it does not mean they've not paid some.
All right.
But what I'm only saying is that then we heard again about, was it 5,000 or so again on another social security issue. But what I'm saying is that I don't know why federal government will go that way. Like this 774,000, when somebody keeps on hoping and the hope is not coming down, you'll also suffer the heart attack for it.
All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back on the other side of the hour, we will take Dr. Kalistu and Dr. Obidime's take on this very issue. 1 million people to receive 5,000 naira. That would be like the prelude to the opinion poll conversation, where we will be looking at some interesting topics as well. We will be looking at House passing bill seeking to regulate political parties. That's one of it. I wouldn't let the other one out of the bag, so you stay tuned as the conversation for social transformation, or would I say for political development or social development, continues here on Today 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss.
Hello and welcome to this special broadcast. We hope you're doing great at your end. Be you at work, at home, school, your place of worship, or at the market. My name is Stephen Williams and I bring you good news from the Better Life Project. The Better Life Project is a platform where we recruit, train, and mentor any and everybody to become a business owner, beginning with as low as 50,000 naira. Yes, as low as 50k. We at the Better Life Project, we are simply driven by the passion to see Nigerians cross the bridge of poverty into a life of abundance, where you take control and ultimately live the life of your dream. We tag this project Operation Start Your Own Business. We hope that you can afford us the next 5 minutes of your time and pay attention to this good news that we have brought to you. Have you ever thought about starting your own business? What have you done about those great ideas? Oftentimes, we come up with great ideas, fantastic ideas that can be converted to successful businesses with the right training, the right coaching, the right mentorship to metamorphose into successful businesses. Why have you not started your own business? Well, while you are processing that question, I'd like to share with you a few ideas or reasons why you should consider starting your own business. You can find your own work and life balance. You can get to choose the people you work with. You can take on risk and reap the reward. You can challenge yourself. You can follow your passion. We can continue all day on the benefits of starting your own business. So let's leave it there. And that is why we're here actually, to help you start your own business, beginning from as low as 50,000 naira. So permit me to say once again, welcome to Operation Start Your Own Business. The sting of poverty is no respecter of person. Gainfully, you become your own boss. You can start with 50,000, you can start with 100,000, you can start with 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. It's all up to you. So why not start your own business now? And that journey can begin with you simply sending a text message. Yes, 081 887 68854. That is 081 887 68854. Send that text now. We would like to work with just 20 people for a start. 20 people who are willing to cross the poverty line. 20 people who are willing to work. 20 people who are willing to learn and grow. Just text YES to 081 887 68854. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's unemployment rate increased than to start your own business today, beginning with as little as 50,000 naira. Make that move now, as we look forward to hearing from you. And until then, God bless you and enjoy the rest of the day.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good morning. Here is the news update at 9 on Today 95.1 FM. I am Kalada Korubatubo. The Rivers State Governor Yeson Wike says he expects all contracts in the state to be completed by July 2022. Governor Wike made the statement at the flag-off of the dualization of the Ogunabali Eastern Bypass Road in Port Harcourt City local government area of the state. The governor, who advised the people to accord adequate support to Julius Berger during the period, also called on the contractor to carry the community, especially women, along in the execution of the projects. On his part, a member of the House of Representatives for Port Harcourt Constituency 1, Ken Chikere, while commending the developmental strides of Governor Wike, called on the people of Ogunabali to own the projects. The protest by commercial bus drivers plying the Choba Mile 3 road has continued today over the killing of their colleague by an official of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps attached to Rivers State Task Force on Illegal Trading and Motor Parks. Today, FM's Uchendo Ejowo reports that the drivers are wielding some weapons and stopping their colleagues from loading passengers on the routes. The protesters are said to be marching from the Ngbagba area of the state to the State Police Command to demand the prosecution of the NCDC official who shot their colleague. The situation has left many passengers stranded on the road as it has remained difficult to find vehicles to board. Traditional rulers in Rivers State have insisted that it is not possible to effectively manage the affairs of the communities without allocation of security votes and attachment of security agencies to them. His Royal Majesty Eze Felix Otuarikpo, who spoke at the National Conference of Nigeria Union of Journalists in Port Harcourt, also accused the local government council chairman of abandoning the management of the communities in the hands of the traditional leaders. Otuarikpo, who was a representative of the traditional leaders at the conference, dismissed allegations that traditional rulers sponsor cult activities in their various communities. The regent of Ekpeye land, however, called on government to avail the traditional rulers all necessary support to enable them work effectively in managing the affairs of the communities, especially in the area of insecurity. On the foreign scene, China has approved the emergency use of a COVID-19 vaccine for those as young as 3. This is making China the first country to offer jabs to young children since the coronavirus first emerged in central China. Beijing has mostly managed to bring the country's outbreak under control and has administered over 777 million vaccine doses after a sluggish start. A spokesperson for Sinovac told AFP its vaccine had been approved for use on children, but it did not confirm when the young children would be able to start receiving the shots, saying the schedule for the rollout will be decided by the National Health Commission according to China's current epidemic prevention and control needs and vaccine supply. And that was the news update at 9 on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget to take responsibility. Wash your hands on a regular with soap under running water. Alternatively, have with you at all times alcohol-based hand sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Good morning. I am Kala Da Korubasvo.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
I feel alive, so alive. When I'm with my best friends, indulging my G exotic. Nothing makes my drink more than when the mixer is delightful G exotic. And after a long day, I wanna relax with the taste of my G exotic.
Indulge and get lost in the deeply satisfying taste of the Chi Exotic range of delicious fruit blends.
Chi Exotic Nectar. I love the taste. Now available in can.
People can no longer take certain things. Nothing is guaranteed. When we were younger, you hardly hear killing. Today is the norm now. No place is safe.
We get president at all. We dey separate Nigeria, beg.
Kidnapping, assassination. People are dying every day. People are getting killed every day. My friend just got kidnapped.
Tell the Nigerian leaders, or if you like rulers, that they are performing below expectation.
Hope is one of the main guiding force in the human existence. Without hope, we all cease to live. Life ends when you stop believing. The sky may be full of dark clouds, but the little ray of hope for this great nation should not quiver. Let's fan the flames of hope. Nigeria must stand. This message is brought to you by Today95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
Good morning, welcome back. But before we go into the conversations proper, we're going to entertain a guest here in the studios of Today 95.1 FM, your premium talk radio station. And of course, I will be entertaining the guests on your behalf. I am the man of the people. I go by the name Kalada. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Port Harcourt. This is Chidrak Dimabo.
Dimabo, welcome into the studio. So tell us why you're here. What do you have for us?
All right. Came here to enlighten you guys about Forex, but before I go on critically in detail about Forex, let me just talk to you about CJC.
All right.
So many times a lot of persons have come across and then they ask, what is CJC?
All right.
Why is it called CJC? All right. CJC simply means Garrick Just Capital. For those of you just joining us for the first time, it is a forex brokerage firm with its headquarters resident in Auckland, New Zealand.
All right.
Now, this broker has been in the forex market for over 20 years, and its global presence has spanned more than 18 countries in the world, and Canada and South Korea inclusive. All right. As a brokerage firm, it is duly licensed by the Financial Markets Authority of New Zealand. It's also regulated by FinTrack, which means the Financial Transaction and Report Analysis Center of Canada. Again, it is regulated by the Australia Security and Investment Commission, SIC. And finally, it is also regulated by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Here in Nigeria, we are a fintech company, and then we are also registered with Corporate Affairs Commission. All right. And our office address, because we have an office in Abuja, we have an office in Lagos, but currently here in Port Harcourt, our office address is at 193 Abba Road.
All right.
Beside Emerald Hotels.
All right.
Okay. Now, the question, or what I want to address today, before I go critically to what I came for, is some people ask, what does a brokerage firm do?
All right. I was going to ask you that. You just took, I was waiting for you to wrap up. you just explained what, your company is all about, and you called it a brokerage firm. But then again, a lot of people mistake, I want to believe, brokerage firms for investment firms. So can you give us the difference and make us understand?
Let me just do just a short breakdown. Now, a brokerage firm is not an investment platform, or where you go to invest your money to get an ROI, that's return on investment. Okay. Now, a brokerage firm is a company that gives individual traders, which are called retail traders, account managers, that is people who trade for others, manage their account for them, or hedge funds, people who manage large amounts of money. These brokerage firms give people the access to trade the global financial markets. Okay, so you can't access the financial markets without a broker. So for you to access the financial market, you need to access that financial market via a broker. So the broker is like the portal with which you can access the financial market.
All right.
Okay, so now, but then, that is not what only a broker does. CJC, what it does is this. Being a broker, we don't just want you to come use our platform to access the financial market.
All right.
Because there are people who will come to you access this financial market and they don't know how to trade this financial market or assets. So there are different categories of these people. There are some who are inexperienced.
All right.
There are some who are just intermediate. And there are some who are actually advanced. They know how to trade. So as a broker, which you want people to use your platform to trade, what setup do you have? So these are the things that CJC has come up with. Because, it's just like, okay, fine, I have a setup for people to come in to trade the financial market using my setup.
All right.
But you agree that if people come using your platform and they are not succeeding, they won't come there again.
All right. And you also would not succeed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is why CJC has looked at this and said, okay, fine. Is there something we can do? A setup we can create so that these people coming to our platform don't just come to use this platform, but they also come to benefit from the platform.
All right.
And so, as a brokerage firm, we train. That is number one. We train you, whether depending on the level you are.
All right.
If you are inexperienced, you don't know everything about the forex market, but you felt, look, I can benefit. I want to come into this forex market. CJC has got a setup for you to train you.
All right.
And then we have a training setup both for the inexperienced, both for the intermediate, and both for the advanced. For the advanced, we have one-on-one mentorship class for them. Okay, so this is set up that CJC has brought in place. Again, apart from that, CJC got some other setups. We give signals.
All right.
Right? So signals we give in the sense that there are some persons who they just want to know the basics of trading because they don't have the time at all. They just say, look, can I get signals from you? So that on a daily basis, you just give me signals, I place those signals. I'm okay. I don't have the time to do any market analysis. You just give me the signals, let me trade.
All right.
And make money. So we got signals for you. Again, we also have bonus for you, just as an incentive to encourage people to come in. All right. Now, that is, by the way, let me just hold on with that. Now, for why I came here today is that CJC, apart from all these setups and more we got what is known as a crash program for 2 weeks. Now, this is the third round we are going. We've concluded the first round.
All right, and concluded.
We are in the second round. The second round is concluding tomorrow.
Okay, so
Thursday.
Okay, so I have a question now before you go forward.
Yeah.
You are about to complete 2 rounds or 2 batches of a crash program for people who want to learn how to trade and who want to learn how to use your signal or who want to learn how to use your platform. What is the testimony like? What is the success story like of these people who have undergone this training?
Wow, the success is wow, sincerely speaking.
All right.
Now there's just one thing I'm going to tell you is that in Port Harcourt, let me just say, since we're in Port Harcourt, I'm in charge here in Port Harcourt.
All right.
Okay? As per the training.
All right.
There is no brokerage firm, sincerely speaking, with all sincerity. Because I've been to places.
All right.
Okay? There's no brokerage firm that trains currently like CJC.
Is this a case of a child saying my mother's soup is the sweetest? Is this a case of that?
There's a case where you say your mother's soup is the sweetest because she is your mother. And there's a case where someone has eaten his or her mother's food and they went somewhere else and eat another food and said, wow, mom, this guy is better than you.
All right.
I'm telling you with us due sincerity. And students that have come up also have also given a testimony. Now, let me just tell you this. In CJC, there are specific and VIP classes that will teach
All right.
And will tell you what the market is actually doing. And all of these students, some of them came to us, they don't know anything about Forex.
All right.
Nothing.
All right.
No basics. But right now, I'm telling you the truth, they can trade on their own, making trading decisions. They can, in fact, the newbies that are coming, they're even helping to put them through.
All right.
But when these people came, I know when they came, because I trained them. They know nothing. I've come because then the ones that I've also met, those are advanced traders, people who are also doing about they're still having one or two things. We brought them, we sit down together, what's the issues? There are some who say, okay, fine, this. I say, okay, fine. I'm going to take on a special class on this particular class, and this will help you out.
So you were able to identify each person's weakness and train them accordingly.
Sincerely, because we have what is called the basic class, we have the mentorship class, which is for the advanced trader. The truth is that as a trainer, as I teach advanced classes now, be in the advanced class.
All right.
And then you listen, these are advanced, because the third batch is coming up on the 14th, which is on Monday next week.
Okay, so there's a seminar to prepare you for the crash
course.
course.
So you must attend the seminar to involve yourself in that crash program, because you have to get yourself registered. And so for seat reservation, you just have to text.
Sorry, before we go into contact details and all.
Okay.
You said the seminar is a preparatory seminar for the crash course.
For the crash program, which is coming up on the 14th, which is a Monday.
So what is the seminar? Can you give us a little bit tiny details of what the seminar will be about?
Okay, the seminar is actually to give an in-depth education of CJC.
Oh.
What CJC is actually here for.
Okay.
I can't say all this on radio.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So you need to let them know the company they want to deal with.
Our capacity is.
Okay.
You got to know where you're going to.
Okay.
All right. What our capacity and what we have to offer.
All right then.
Okay, so that is so you get your mind prepared. You know that okay, I'm coming into these people. I'm coming there to learn, to train, and also to use their platform to trade. You know all about these people.
All right.
Yeah. Then apart from that, on the 14th, the crash program begins. It's a basic and advanced course in Forex for 2 weeks. And after which you're going to be issued a certificate of participation.
All right.
That, okay, I've gone through a basic and advanced course in Forex with CJC.
All right.
For 2 weeks.
All right.
Now, you know what? But this particular crash program is not only what we got. We also have VIP classes. Now, the VIP is taken by the country manager himself. It's an online webinar.
All right.
Those are for people who don't have the time to come for the physical crash program. Then there is also another class which we call the fundamental analysis class.
All right.
Wow, that class is specially taken by myself. I take that class. That class was a unique class in the sense that we teach you how to analyze economic data and how to use those economic data to analyze your financial asset. Okay, the particular asset or instrument you want to trade.
All right.
Now you'll be so amazed how we have technical. Sorry to take you a little bit on the technical side.
No problem.
We have technical analysis, okay, in Forex. We also have fundamental analysis. All right. In fundamental analysis, we look at economic happenings, economic data, and how to use that data to predict the move of the market.
All right.
So that is a special VIP class. All right. Now, all this we are taking. Why? Just to enable guys, people out there to do well in their Forex while using the platform. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you now to tell us how, because I mean I understand where you're going to.
Okay.
You need to know certain economic development to be able to know how to trade, and you're going to teach the people how to monitor all of that.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people are already interested, so you might just want to tell us how to come for the seminar on Friday, the 11th of June, 2021.
All right. So for those of you who are interested in the crash program, okay?
Yeah.
On the 11th is the seminar.
All right.
On the 14th is the crash program.
All right.
Text PH to this number 070
070
670
670
166
166
44.
44.
I repeat 070
070
670
670
166
166
44.
44.
Then for those interested in the VIP, which is going to be taken by the country manager himself, text VIP to the same number.
All right.
070
070
670 670
670
166
166
44.
44.
Finally, for those interested in fundamental analysis,
All right.
that I'm not interested in the technical, I want to understudy fundamentals, where I can look at economic data and use it to analyze a trade and make profit for myself. That is a very powerful class. Text fundamental to this number 070
070
670
670
166
166
44.
44.
All right. So these are the, should I put it our whole handles you can call.
All right,
so I
then.
can text rather
right.
for you to be a partaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask the question, how do they locate your office, in case someone wants to come for
All right,
further inquiry?
the office address is just at Romola here, 193 Abba Road, beside Emerald Hotels. It's
All
just
right.
quite simple.
Okay.
Just Romola Junction.
So what's your final word for someone who's listening to you right now and is, see, these guys.
Okay, let me just say this. Do you feel disappointed? Do you feel disappointed? Perhaps you've tried, and I must be very sincere with you guys. So many persons have come into Forex, okay? They have looked this way, looked that way, and it's like, what is happening? Please, I want to tell you. Now, let me tell you. There are some persons who are good in technical analysis. Is that okay? All right? Technical analysis seems to be easy with them. They can be trained and then they grab it and they are good with technical.
Right.
There are people who they have tried technical, it's like, wow, what's going on? But when they come into fundamental, they got it.
All right.
So we are offering you these two opportunities: the technical crash and the fundamental.
All right.
Perhaps you've tried the technical, it's like, wow, this thing is difficult, I can't make it. Come on, try the fundamental.
All right.
We've got you covered on every edge.
And you can still teach them the technical for those who
Wow,
have
we did that.
technical
Yes,
difficulty.
both the technical and the fundamental.
All right.
So if you feel that the technical is too complex for you, I can take you on the fundamental and coach you privately on the fundamental analysis class, the special class. So guys, if you feel disappointed, come into CJC. I'm there waiting for you.
All right, thank you very much, Shadrach Dimabo, a representative of CJC. And if you're interested, you text to those numbers that was reeled out on air.
All right.
All right, have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
At my back, I ain't coming.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
And experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
In the city, so wish me well.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
A better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
This was high, this little light of mine. I'm gonna
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
let me tell you how I got this far.
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
One of my favorite quotes is that when the people stop talking, when they cease to open their mouth and say things as it is, I mean, this is me rephrasing now, they cease to exist as a people, irrespective of the fact that they are breathing and moving and and doing the things human beings would normally do. And that is why every time I come into the studio, I don't take it lightly, and you shouldn't take it as well. Likely or lightly, you should come out and see how you can air your opinions for the development of our society. Like I said earlier in the morning, our opinions may differ, but then it does not mean my opinion is bigger than yours. All right, welcome. It's time for Opinion Poll. That being said, and still on today 95.1 FM, but we left off newspaper review. We were hanging. Dr. Callistus and Dr. Obidima were yet to give their opinions on 1 million Nigerians taking 5,000 naira for 6 months. I forgot to put that part. For 6 months. And why
that means 30,000
there? 30,000 in 6 months now for one person.
For one person.
Yeah. And you now calculate it times 1 million. That's anyways, my calculator in my head is not working right now. But Dr. Callistus, I mean, this is a country, we mentioned it several times already during the newspaper review. This is a country talking about scarcity of funds. We talked about little or no production because we don't even have refineries to refine our oil. We don't have industries to transform raw materials that we have in abundance. Our governors Kaduna State governor is right-sizing, so he called it. Some other governors say they can't pay the current minimum wage and they are going back to the former minimum wage. We have all of this crisis. Federal government saying they can't pay doctors certain amount of money because there is not enough money. And yet we still have money for social investment program or programs. What do you make of this, really?
Yeah. In the first place, social investment program is a laudable program if it is well handled.
Okay.
It's a universal issue.
All right.
Some countries, they handle their own in a way and manner that it goes down well with the citizen. Where you have data. But in this case now, they are saying 1 million persons.
All right.
You will see that these 1 million persons, the people that will benefit will not be up to 200,000. It will not be up to 200,000.
All right.
One person will use about 40 names or 50 names with the arrangement. The money will still, recycle among themselves. But actually, when you have a government that is sincere, in my opinion, they ought to have used this money to organize skill acquisition.
Interesting.
When you organize skill acquisition for 1 million persons and give them starter packs, maybe half of these 1 million people will utilize this money judiciously. And we'll be left with about 500.
All right.
We'll be battling. Next time you put up another skill acquisition, by the time you know it, you see all this unemployment rate will reduce.
All right.
Because the government don't have money again to be paying people that are in service. Talk less of people that are out of service.
True.
So what it takes now is for people to be self-employed.
All right.
Government need to provide enabling environment
for businesses to grow.
For business to grow. For all this small, medium
scale business
to thrive. That's what should be their priority at the moment. Not giving people 5,000 every month, which means they are giving them data money or recharge money.
And with the level of inflation in the economy, 5,000 naira might not really go a long way. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that it's just to buy recharge cards.
Okay.
For them.
All right.
To browse. For them that have
Android
phones. And for them that don't have, immediately the 5,000 gets to them, They use it to feed.
Okay.
Buy one thing or the other.
All right.
You see? So the best thing our government need to do, they should think out of the box.
All right then.
By organizing skill acquisition. Let all these youths be self-employed because they are energetic now.
All right.
They are energetic.
So they don't travel abroad.
You understand me? Even if they want to travel abroad,
I'm just saying
it will no longer be in drove. If you have something that you're doing that is fetching you money.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Sokoto to look for money and the money is in Port Harcourt, what is the need going to Sokoto?
Interesting.
You relax here and make your money.
Interesting. Let's hear from Dr. Obidima. 1 million Nigerians to get 5,000 naira 6 months this year. 6 months this year, yeah.
See, I think you have in our society, like we are going into economic permutations than engaging in serious economic planning. The point is that the day really sat down to say, look, this amount we are pulling, 1 million persons out of 100 and something million persons in this country. And what is the unemployment rate? Over 70-something or 80-something million persons are unemployed. And 1 million out of 80 million persons. What does it amount to? And 5,000 for 1 million persons in a month. Now, let's take individuals. A person who is receiving 5,000 naira a month, not on daily basis, a month, with the kind of inflation rate we have today. And I don't also know the category of people they are targeting. Is it the youth or even the adults who are not employed? And maybe even if it's a youth, with the expected increase in fuel price, I think the proposal of the governors goes through, it does mean that 10 liters of fuel will be over 3,000 naira.
All right.
Which may not last you for more than 2 days. And they are saying something of a month. We don't have a structured economy. We don't have an enabling economic environment that can make individuals creatively explore certain things within the environment to enhance their capacity. We don't have it. It's not in place. And that is where government should be looking towards in creating that kind of environment.
All right.
That individuals not doling out 5,000 every month, because 5,000 every month cannot give you even a meal a day.
All right.
So we are asking the government.
It cannot give you a meal a day, really?
Yeah, I can't give you a meal a day.
Okay.
5,000. Look, when you go to Ibole, maybe
5,000 naira will not give.
Wait, excuse me. You Ibole in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me say 1,000 naira ball.
Why would you eat 1,000?
Why must you not eat 1,000?
Sorry.
Is fish not going to be there?
Sorry about that.
You know, the fish not going to be there. So, for 1 month, we're talking of 30 days, and you are still 5,000 for 1 month. What does it really amount to?
It's a palliative, actually.
What's a palliative?
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to take care of all your needs. Yeah. It's just supposed to cushion the effect that the economy is facing as a result of COVID-19.
The point there is this: if you know that there is what the economy is doing because as a result of COVID-19 is impacted, what is their economy blueprint?
All right.
Concerning that area, there is no plan, no economic development, no blueprint that will see how this thing, your policy can impact on the people you are targeting to give 5,000 naira a month.
All right. Let's pause you there. Let's now start opinion poll. Time is fast spent. I will reintroduce the men on the panel of analysts on the show this morning. I have Emmanuel Ndukwe. Good morning to you once again.
Good morning, Kalada.
I have Chief Dr. Callistus Nwachukwu, Public Affairs Analyst and CEO, Chi California International. Good morning to you once again.
Once again, good morning, Kalada.
All right. And I have Dr. Obidima JP, journalist and international affairs analyst. Good morning to you once again.
Welcome.
All right, then. Kalada is in the studio, and I like to think of myself as the man of the people. So we'll go first. We'll go straight rather to the first topic on our list. And the first one is House passes bill seeking to regulate political parties, as can be seen on the Nation newspaper. Now, the House of Representatives on yesterday, that is, passed for second reading a bill seeking to alter the provisions of the 1999 Constitution to strengthen political party structures in the country. The bill, which has been referred to the Special Ad Hoc Committee on the Review of the 1999 Constitution, also seeks to regulate the political parties that should contest elections in the country. Leading the debate on the general principles of the bill, its sponsor, Oberu Akpefe Afe PDP Delta, said if a political party does not win a seat in a House of Assembly, such party should be deregistered and tagged unfit to further contest for any elective position. He said when passed, the proposed law would further help to structure political parties in the country. But opposing the bill, Nkem Abonta, PDP Abia, said there was need to respect the freedom of association, and excluding a party for political participation was not in the spirit of the Constitution. When the bill was put to a voice vote, majority of the lawmakers voted in its favor. Now, the bill is looking at, there are other parts of the bill, but the Nation paper focuses on the deregistration of political parties who can't win even a seat in the legislative arm of government, whether at the state level, whether at the federal level, maybe even the local government level. But, they should be deregistered. There is also the attempt to control political parties, probably how much they spend in electioneering periods, how they go about setting procedures to make it orderly, because you and I will agree that we've seen so much disorganization in some of the political parties that we have, especially after elections. You see the smaller ones, fighting, and then there is a dismantling of the party structure because the people who are stakeholders are aggrieved. They did not share the things well, the money accrued from the elections, if they are. So we've seen these things. Do you think it's a welcome development that the National Assembly is looking at regulating political parties and then move on to the point where they are seeking to deregister political parties that fail to register a victory in the electioneering period? Let's start with you, Emmanuel.
Well, I don't think it's welcome. That's for me. Because there are certain factors that should determine the deregistration of such parties. For instance, the age of the party. Again, the size of the party. Because ordinarily, and I think the Constitution grants freedom of association. People of like minds may come if they pass through all the tests in terms of registration tests, and then they have them registered. Certainly it becomes a political party. Now, how long has it been in existence before that particular election? Because every party is not a mega party, a mega one. Every party is not like a PDP or APC. To say that as they come, because they've annexed all the muscles everywhere, they will bulldoze themselves and win elective positions. Now, let's even say from the local government, that smaller party did not win. How long will it stay before it starts being in check in terms of saying, you've been here, you've endured for this long, you've not been able to win anything, and so you should be deregistered. But if just as they organize themselves, takes up this particular assignment of contesting for election, which is like being new to them, and they didn't win, you deregister them. I think it's an infringement or an abridgment of their right for this freedom of association.
So someone once said to me, your right ends where my right begins, because you cannot use your right to
it's supposed to
override my right.
Yes.
Now, when we look at the last election, we had about 91 or was it 92 political parties, and it made it very cumbersome for INEC, to conduct elections properly. Because if you remember what the ballot paper looks like, it
was in fact a billboard.
Exactly the point. And so probably maybe this bill will see how it can curb some of these difficulties INEC usually will go through during the electioneering period. Like I said, the right to freedom of association does not mean it has to stop, the right of INEC to conduct elections credibly, fairly.
There was no intention to stop INEC. Because INEC would have...
like I said, it makes it cumbersome for them.
Yeah, that's something is cumbersome. It can still be handled.
Okay.
See, that at that time, you remember, I think some people, INEC said, by the statutes that established it, it has no right to delete any political party. That was just the reason. Because I don't know, you see, everything about Nigeria is too much. It's done to excess. When you have up to, is it 90 political parties or so, I don't know whether it has become a marketplace. But what I'm saying is that there should be a guideline. It's not that, for instance, okay, we have in 2023 now, for instance, if, for instance, a group organizes itself, a group that desires to become a political party, organizes itself today, and then after the crucibles, they are registered. Then you tell me, because they didn't just win, and nobody knows whether they will eventually come up to be the best party Nigeria ever had, then you deregister them. I'm saying, attach some number of years where it is assumed that they would have matured over time, at least to start participating, and then people would have seen the saliency of that particular party, that they can win or they will not win. And at that time, you deregister them if they didn't perform. But as soon as they just gather, even a child is not expected to perform like an adult. And again, remember, like I said, it's not every party that is a mega party, like for instance, PDP or APC.
But APC gathered and won election.
But you heard what I call them, a mega party.
Okay.
Because see, if for instance APC swallows other parties now, they will still remain formidable. And so these there are parties that exist in principle. They don't want to compromise anything that will be good. And such party, you can agree with me that it will take them time to mature and grow big. And because they didn't win, you remove them. That means we'll never see exactly the kind of party needed.
How long should we give them?
For me, something like even 6 years is okay. Between 6 years and 10 years.
So
that party
that would be like 6 electioneering years, you mean?
No, what I mean is that 6th election cycle, like
that's what I'm saying. 6 electioneering.
Yes, you are right.
Okay.
After 2023, for instance, another one like that.
All right.
Because if you don't do it like that, it means that those people just came. You didn't allow the ideas to be seen. It didn't, just because an election was conducted, they didn't perform, you remove them. That means PDP or APC will keep on using Nigeria as a rapper.
All right, let's hear from Dr. Callistus.
Somebody will say they have come again. You see, every game has its rules. In football, basketball, in politics. You see, our bane has been how to keep these rules. INEC, by law, does not register party. They recognizes parties. And before you recognize, do you send your men out to look at all the prerequisites, whether they are being met before an association is recognized as a party. And this question of deregistration, to me, is strange. You did not register them. You recognize them. So you withdraw your recognition.
All right.
That's the right word. So they said, number one, every association must have its presence in all the 36 states and Abuja. So all these parties that have only family members, how do they manage to get recognized?
Now,
that is the big question. Number one.
I want someone to correct me. I want to believe that a political party is registered with the CAC. I stand to be corrected.
No.
They are not registered?
No.
It's INEC actually.
See, the issue
is INEC.
Political parties is INEC, according to our constitution,
I should check
that INEC should recognize.
All right.
With some requirements should be met before you are being recognized.
Is it recognition?
It's recognition.
No, it's registration.
It's not registration. It's not, because late Gani Fahimi took them to court. That the constitution says you should recognize association that met some certain conditions. You see, we are the ones using that word, registration. But I am very conversant with that court judgment that INEC recognizes associations as parties.
All right.
Do you understand?
All right.
So what I'm saying is that, is this law being circumvented because of this recognition by not ensuring that they have their presence in the 36 states, including Abuja, being their headquarters. So if an association that transmutes to political party has only physical presence in 2 states, maybe from the originators, they put the hire one small office and put one small table and stool and chair there and one laptop. Then at Abuja, they use their residence and are being recognized. I think it's an abuse in the first place. Then secondly, this proliferation of political parties, you can liken it to what we have in the Christendom, where you have a husband and a wife opening a church.
So, sorry to pause you now. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is empowered by the Constitution to organize elections and register political parties, because I knew there was an agency responsible for the registration.
That is the electoral law.
No. According to the Constitution.
What Gani went to court is not registration. It's about deregistering political parties.
Yeah. So Section 221 and Section 222 of the 1999 Constitution, talks about that requirement.
Okay. Even if it's a registration, there are requirements to be met before you are being registered as a political party.
All right, true.
So the question I'm asking, those requirements, are they being met before registering them?
All right.
Secondly, having 90-something political parties is an abuse. We have, let's say, 210, 20. They can't accommodate your views. They cannot accommodate your ideology. Then we keep on registering up to that number. It makes the whole thing looks childish.
All right.
So, and we have that tendency of being on my own. I want to have my own. I want to have a say here. I want to have a say there. I was likening it to be all these churches that are opening here and there.
All right.
That we are in this church today, you are an usher. Tomorrow, you tell the people that God called you. You go and hire one self-com and start your own church there. So we shouldn't allow all those things to thrive.
All right.
You see? So this law should be allowed. And giving them time frame. Say you stay up to 10 years, 20 years before you are being deregistered. To me, it is not good.
All right.
So once you say that you want to be a political party, you should be able.
You should have the structure.
You understand me? You have a structure. You should be able, at least, to win a seat. It's not all that too much. If I may quote our former president, Chief Obasanjo, he said, why are people busy forging results? Claiming what they are not. That the constitution said, class 5. They did not tell you 5 credits or 20 credits. And neither did they tell you that if you have FFF. Say school sat. And school sat is school sat. So why should people go and forge? Some will tell you that they studied at Nebraska. Some will say that they studied at California. Why they did not? So why is this question of political parties here and there? Why not get yourself somewhere, organize your people? If you feel you are strong and you can pass your ideology to the people, sell yourselves.
All right, then
win a seat.
All right.
They did not say 3 or 4 seats.
Let's hear
I think that condition is not stringent.
Let's hear from Dr. Obidima now. What's your take? National Assembly trying to regulate political parties?
I think National Assembly cannot pass a bill for regulation of political parties without constitutional amendment.
That's what they said. They want to alter the constitution. That's what they said.
It's okay. And if in the course of the public hearing, and people in Nigeria also advanced this proposal, it's not them staying there. They say, look, this is what's coming from our head. We want to use it as part of constitutional amendment. When the masses, the stakeholders in Nigeria is not working towards that way, it will amount to imposing their own selfish ideas on the rest of Nigerians. There is nothing absolutely wrong to have even 1,000 political parties.
Really?
Israel is just 7 million in population. But if you go to Israel, you have so many political parties. Even UK, the last local government election that was conducted in UK, there are so many political parties that I have never heard their names.
Are they up to 90?
Wait, it's not. In America, do you know how many there are? There are many, but the only thing is that with time, you see that maybe 2 or 3 prominent political parties take the center stage. In Mexico, about 4 or 5 years ago, there is a party that in Mexico for 70 years, they never won any election. But at that year they won election was about 70 years they attempted getting the presidency of that country. They existed. You see, in our constitution, the right to associate is there. There is also, I think 1966, International Covenant on Political Rights, which is a document of United Nations. People have the right to come together to express their political interests. Why it appeared to be cumbersome for us in Nigeria with 92 parties is because our electoral system is still manual, 100% manual.
That's why you can have a long list, and it is appearing to be a burden to INEC. If we go into electronic voting, even if it is 1,000 political parties, must a political party exist to win an election? That's not what the concept of political party means.
No, it's not.
But it is to provide us a platform of opposition on the government power. There could be political parties that could say, look, we are concerned about environment, and they pursue that. There could be political parties that will just remain within the local level, you know, contesting election in the local government, and they try to get even this is an anathema to even begin to provide. The political party must have presence in the 36 states of federation for it to be qualified to be a political party. That is medieval and primitive. We should be thinking out of this kind of primitive mentality and move ahead with the rest of the world. There is nothing wrong if I come together. Look, my party will not move beyond Obiakpo, and they always run election in Obiakpo local government. You know, so it must not mean that I must go to National Assembly. I must have somebody in Sokoto that will be a member of my political party. What of independent candidacy? Why are we not talking about that? Is it not the same thing if somebody is running on his own personal ticket? Must you have presence in the 36 states of the federation? So we should do away with this backward mindset and mentality that is not moving us forward. That is not even a problem presently. Our current problem is beyond what they are trying to use in satisfying their selfish aggrandizement.
All right.
You know,
so if I understand you well, you know, you're saying there should be local political parties, state level political parties, or regional political parties.
Yeah, they have different interests.
But that's that's in a society that runs a federalism that is well, I don't want to use true, but a federalism that is
I don't know